I'm Gab, he's Jules. Welcome to our Gab and Juls holiday festive special.
Yeah.
Really festive holiday special.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's that time of year. You certainly got dressed of it. Whether you celebrate Kwanzaa or Christmas
Anything.
or Hanukkah or Festivus.
Yeah.
Or,
Or
if you don't-
nothing.
or maybe you celebrate other parts of the year. Maybe you celebrate
Absolutely.
nothing.
Yeah.
You're just grumpy year round. Whatever it is, we're going to brighten this up for you with our little awards. Look,
Yeah, mid-season awards.
if you think that we're doing this because we don't want to work over our holidays, yes, this is true. We're pre-taping this. So there. We're honest with our audience, unlike some I might mention. Jules, we've given out awards. I certainly for mine, and I think for some of yours too, we have two categories.
Yeah.
One for those who were born on third base and think they've hit a triple. The rich super clubs, the clubs who joined the Super League caliber clubs, plus Bayern, Borussia Dortmund, and Paris Saint-Germain. Those guys and everybody else, the working man, the blue collar man, their equivalent of clubs. We've got a bunch of categories, which producer Freddie, who is now spinning the wheel for
Spinning the
our
wheel.
first category. Let's see what he comes up with. The magical moment of the season.
So lovely.
How about that? This is something, so ideally something we've witnessed in person.
Yeah.
A moment of brilliance that impressed us. Should I go first on this
Yeah,
one?
if you want to.
This one, there's only one answer for me. It is Cole Palmer's pass for Pedro Neto in Chelsea against Newcastle.
Okay. I don't remember it, but I'm sure it was very magical because I think Cole Palmer is a magician. My one was Ricardo Calafiori's goal for Arsenal against Manchester City at
I
the
don't remember that one.
Etihad. Yeah, I was
Nope, never
there.
happened.
The top corner. What I liked about this the most as well, apart from the fact it was a massive game, so many things happened in that game, is that Calafiori makes some mistakes on the first goal scored by Erling Haaland in that game. And to redeem himself almost, he goes on the other end of the pitch and hit that ball from the edge of the box with his left foot into the opposite top corner. And that was a very special goal, I think, for a special player when he's fit. And for me to be there in the stand and seeing it so close was very special, very magical.
My moment was more magical because it was not a goal. It was a pass. So well done, Cole Palmer. Producer Freddie, please spin the wheel and let's see what we come up with next in our categories. It's the surprise package of the season. By the way, the
good.
fact that you see Rafinha there means that's producer Freddie's choice.
Yes.
Guess what, Jules?
It is.
Among the big clubs, that's also my choice.
Yeah, it's my choice. I mean, I've got two choices from two big clubs, to be fair. In this, Rafinha, you're right, because I don't think anybody expected him to be that good. We knew how talented he was before. This is no surprise, but to be so consistent, so efficient in this incredible front three with Lamine Yamal and Lewandowski was great to see, even wearing the armband for most of that first half of the season too, considering they were ready to sell him at the club in the summer to have proved everybody wrong, I guess. That's what I wanted to say. It's been really, really impressive.
Now, among the non-big teams, my choice is, it was close. It was between Omar Marmoush and Alex Baena. Eventually, I had to choose Omar Marmoush because of the goals, because Eintracht Frankfurt doing better than Villarreal. I do want to say I did not think Alex Baena was going to have I thought he was going to get worse this season. Instead, he got even better than he did last year. But big shout out to Omar Marmoush. We're both fans, right?
Yeah, we're both fans. My second one is Ryan Gravenberch. I just think that from him to master this position, new position for him in front of the back four at Liverpool has been incredible at his age. To the level of performances that he's produced was wonderful. So for me, Rafinha and Gravenberch, better than anybody else I could think of this season.
Producer Freddie now spinning the wheel for us one more time.
What's next?
Let's see what we come up with. It's the
Ooh.
Overachiever of the year. So again, well, obviously he's a big breast man. Clearly,
Was that,
producer
that was a
Freddie.
photo of breast. Yeah.
But in my case, among the big clubs, for me, there's little argument, and obviously it's harder for a big club to overachieve.
true.
But I got to give a shout out to Chelsea and the
Nice,
job in
very
Manesca,
nice.
given all the wild stuff happening with the ownership in the summer, the points, financial fair play, profit and sustainability rules, all that good stuff. And here they are; they're second in the table.
Yeah. Do you want to give us your second one? Because my two are not like big clubs.
That's
small
fine.
club,
My
top club.
other one among outside the elite, outside the rich clubs, Got to go with Mallorca.
Oh, nice. Very
Mallorca
nice.
knocking on the door of the
Very
Champions
good
League
pick.
in Spain. Vedat Murici, one of the most picturesque,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
is a term striker out there. The man from
Very
Kosovo.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I think they've gone. They're ahead of where people thought they would be.
That's very true. I picked two, and you mentioned Omar Marmoush earlier. I think Frankfurt deserve to be in this category as winners. I didn't think that Dino Topmoller could take this team and lead it to second in the Bundesliga, doing really well in the Europa League as well, playing a really nice brand of football too. And the other one is Fiorentina, because as good as it could have been in previous season with Italiano, I think Palladino has also taken this team forward. Moise Kean is doing great. They are, for now, certainly at the top of Serie A table in the title race with plenty of other teams. So for me, Frankfurt and Fiorentina deserves a shot.
We back, baby, with more categories in our Gab and Juls festive holiday special. Producer Freddie, give us a spin. Worst manager of the season, unsurprisingly.
I mean, only one winner, really.
He's not even a manager anymore. Come on, Eric Ten Hag is producer Freddie's choice. He's my choice here as well, out of the Super League clubs, out of the big clubs. Now, this is a close run second, Nuri Sahin, if only in work, when managers are allowed. Nuri Sahin, I think, has been atrocious. But
still not as bad as like being 13th with Manchester United.
Eric Ten Hag is your choice too?
Eric Ten Hag is my choice, yeah, for sure. I mean, I would have sacked him in the summer, even after winning the FA Cup. It made no sense to keep him, even less sense to give him a new deal. So I was surprised he stayed, and then I just could not wait for him to get out, basically. And I'm glad that he eventually did.
In terms of the rest, while he's been doing okay in the league, for the non-elites or non-rich ones, this club is relatively rich, I'm going to pick the man who has won as many Champions League games this season as Eric Ten Hag has.
Okay.
Whose team wasn't even in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And that is Marco Rose of Leipzig.
Marco Rose of Leipzig.
You're not going to argue with that, are you?
No, I do, because mine is Juric at Roma.
You're mean to Ivan Juric.
Ivan Juric, I think one of the worst ever spell of any manager really at a top club, because I don't really follow your top league or not, but in this case it works. But Juric and Roma, I mean, I don't know what happened at Roma to think that Juric was a good pick in the first place. Well, I think we know it's because of the agents very close to the top of the club. But yeah, I thought that was an absolute disaster. How long did it last?
I would like, I don't know,
2 months or something, like 60 days. Yeah, that's.
Even Juric is. Remember when you were a kid? If you ever did this, if you ever took like dog poo and you put it in a brown paper bag and you set it on fire.
Yeah, we did that, of course.
We did it all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of Ivan Juric.
Oh, yes.
Producer Freddie, give us a spin for the next category.
Ooh.
Underachiever of the season so far. Again, 2 categories, the rich clubs and everybody else, the 1%ers and everybody else. Among the Blue Bloods, who are you going for?
I mean, I picked the teams that went with the managers that I just mentioned. So for me, Roma and Manchester United are the 2 massive underachievers. I mean, for Roma to be closer to the relegation zone than anything else in Serie A is beyond belief, considering the players that they have and what they did last season. And for Manchester United, it's just the gift that keeps on giving for me.
I'm not going to dispute Roma, but I will take issue with Manchester United. I think there is a worse underachiever.
Really? Then 13th for Manchester United?
13th isn't that much lower than where they were last season. I got to go with the team that should be the best team in the world, the team that has the best manager maybe ever, according to some, and that is Manchester City. As we tape this, I mean, who knows? Maybe by the time this goes out there, they will have won a game or another game.
Oh, no.
But right now, it's 1 win in 11.
That's true.
It's absolutely terrible. And then in the summer, of course, they did almost nothing other than signing an old guy and a young guy from one of their satellite teams.
Yeah,
this is massive underachievement from Manchester City. Time to spin the wheel again. See what we get. There's only 3 categories left even.
Oh, the best team.
Now, producer Freddie thinks it's Liverpool, and Not much of a surprise here, yeah.
He's right, yeah. Liverpool is one of my
100%
two picks.
Liverpool.
Yeah, incredible, really. Only one defeat all season, 20 games straight now, unbeaten, which I think is the first time in 40 years or 50 years that they do it in one single season. So massive congratulations to them.
Now, what about among the normal, non-privileged clubs? Who are we going to pick?
I mean, for me,
You're pretty emphatic on this one.
Yeah, Atalanta and Gasperini, the miracle. 10 wins in a row as the time of recording this show. 10 league wins in a row for Atalanta. Incredible.
Top of the table in Serie A, Europa League winners, playing some ridiculous football. It's got to be done. What I would say is this is a success that was built over time with planning, which I think makes it even more satisfying that they're up there if you're an Atalanta fan. Jules, should we have Spready? Freddie, Spready. Yeah, Spready, fin the wheel, please.
Fin the wheel. Ooh, two left.
Best manager, Freddie, clearly a Xabi Alonso fan. So am I, but he is not my pick. I think there's only one pick. I think we're in agreement among the big clubs. Got to be that man. Even though he's bald and he's Dutch, two strikes against him in the Jules verse. But it's Arne Slot, yeah?
Arne Slot, without a doubt. Incredible. So far, everything that they're doing on the pitch, the way he talks and presents off the pitch as well, it's been really amazing. I think beyond all the expectations that we had, and a lot of us were very excited when Arne Slot took over Jurgen Klopp, but to have done that well, nobody saw that coming.
Now, among the best of the rest outside the elite, who you got?
So I had two pick again. Palladino that I mentioned already with Fiorentina and the great job he's doing. But I went for Marco Baroni. Lazio, I think he's amazing what he's doing with his team, both in the league and in Europe. And I know they lost 16 against Inter Milan just before we recorded this show at home. But my pick was before that. And I still love him, so I stick with him.
Okay, my choice is from the Premier League. Andoni Iraola at Bournemouth.
Great choice.
It's not just the results. It's that they play really, really good, really smart football. They're sophisticated in what they do. I know they spend a bit of money, but not crazy money. It's still Bournemouth. Well done, the Cherries. Well done. Andoni Iraola. One more spin for us, please, Freddie.
Last one. Oh,
Worst team so far.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, he's going with Borussia Dortmund.
Yes.
Are you going to pick on Manchester United again?
No, I thought about it, but no, absolutely not. The two worst teams, really, in all of the big five leagues, I think are pretty easy to find. One is Bochum, the only team in the B5 leagues yet to have won a game.
If you exclude the super clubs, there's no question in that category. And Bochum is my choice too.
Yeah, I mean, they're terrible. They've been terrible all season. And the other one is Southampton. I'm sorry. I know you sacked your manager, but I don't think since that Derby team at the end of the noughties that I've seen a team as bad as Southampton in the Premier League.
I had to punish a super club for futility this season as well. And I'm going to punish Borussia Dortmund. Now, look, you can say Manchester United are worse, but you know what? Manchester United are actually doing something about it. Borussia Dortmund,
true.
You guys are just drifting. Jules, we're back, and as part of our festive holiday special, we've been asked to make our own 11s of the half season.
Yes, mid-season 11.
Now, look, I'm really bad at doing these.
You know, you're great.
I always forget players.
You don't.
I'm biased with my 11s.
So
I try
am
not to be in my day-to-day, but I pick guys that I liked.
Yeah, that's good.
One guy I really don't like, and he's my goalkeeper. Shall we compare them?
But before we do that, it's very subjective because all the listeners, all the viewers will have obviously a very different 11. It would be almost impossible to have the same one as you or me. Everybody, as you said, has individual players that they really like or players from their team or the team they support that they really like. And I won't lie, there's a couple of PSG players in this. One deserves to be there. The other one is very much of a love choice. But so that's normal, Gabby. And I think your team is going to be great.
I have 0 Paris Saint-Germain players. But
it's
again,
okay.
I don't have only players that I like. I have a guy I don't like. And in goal, this is my 11. In goal, I have Emi Martinez.
Fair enough. He's been voted goalkeeper of the year. So here you go.
I think that's a standard. I don't particularly like him. I think he's kind of a tool, actually. But I think he's a very, very good goalkeeper. And maybe it's ultimately jealousy.
That save against Juventus, remember, in the Champions League was pretty special a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and he made another save more recently for
Against
Villa,
Forest,
against Forest before he
Dominguez
threw it
header.
into the back of his own net.
Yeah, true.
At the back, I have Jeremy Frimpong. No, he's a wing back, a right back. He's been playing as a winger recently.
Yeah.
Chabi, don't do this anymore. The man's a right back. Let's
Is
put
he
the
a right back? Is he that good as a right back? I'm not
That's
sure.
fine. He's my attack. I got attacking.
You got attacking.
Right backs. I'm
Fair
progressive. I got him in there. I have William Saliba because let's face it,
Saliba.
how could you not have William Saliba
Absolutely.
based on this season? I have my man Alessandro Bastoni, Alex Sticks.
Very good.
Because he's
Very
big.
good
He's
pick.
also, notice, no, left-footed center back.
Yeah,
Yes?
nice.
Oh, yeah, you're very big on your left-footed
Nice. I love that.
center back and left back. How
How could
think
you not? Yeah.
Fede Di Marco should have won the Puskas Award
It should
in a
have.
fair world, but some of the voters, unfortunately, are Muppets.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is my back four. In midfield, I've gone
Yeah.
with Ryan Gravenberch, who I think should be in everybody's team of this year. I don't know if he will be on yours.
Again, incredible season so far.
With him, I have Ederson, who I think in his position this season has been arguably the best player in Europe. If you can come up with a better player than him this season
That's
in
true.
that position,
He was close to make my team, but he didn't. But he was very close.
I'll be curious to hear who you put in there ahead of
Yeah.
my boy Ederson. Do you agree he's been the best Ederson this season in Europe?
Oh yeah, by far.
Okay,
You're
there you
right.
go.
Absolutely, you're right.
And then, of course, Jamal Musiala. I had to squeeze him. I don't like doing this, but producer Freddie says 9 has to be 4-3-3. So I had to shoehorn him in there in the 3.
Yeah,
I'm sure he
that's
could play
not-
that role.
Yeah, but that's not really his position. It's okay. I've got a player that is also not really playing in his best position in my team, so we'll give you that one.
Up front.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
3
unfortunately-
left footers though. 3
What?
left footers. 3 left footers for your front 3. That's pretty unusual.
It's unusual just to go and mess with people's minds. Rafinha can play anywhere. He's the player of the season. Him or Alex Baena, I think, are the player of the season in La Liga. Mohamed Salah, who's going to argue
Yeah,
with
of
that?
course.
Cole Palmer.
You just wanted him. You wanted to put him in, right? Anyway.
Palmer again and again and again. Yeah, look, he's played center forward before occasionally. Not a genuine center forward, but when I have these restrictions of the 4-3-3, I think he can play in that position. I think this team would be
Very
really good, even with all those left footers in there.
It's fine. It's fine. That front. I love that left-footed front 3. Man, very impressive.
Well, Rafinha plays on the left, so he can play on the left. So that's fine.
True.
It's not an issue.
It's just I don't think there are any other left-footed front 3 right now in the world, but that's great.
Gab FC.
Exactly.
There you
Gab
go.
FC. Exactly.
Jules, let's
So,
hear yours.
Yeah, it's
Talk us through
mine.
yours.
I like your Emi Martinez pick, but I raise you David De Gea. I mean, David De Gea, I think, has been amazing for Fiorentina, but it's more the story that we like. The fact that he could not find a club last season. And even when he signed for Fiorentina, we were like, really? Him? He might be a bit rusty. And he didn't start really the season. But then once he got into the team, he was outstanding, saving penalties and everything. So for me, David De Gea is there. My back four actually has 2 players, like you did. Saliba and Di Marco, I think, will be in everybody else's 11 for this first half of the season. Di Marco, left back, Saliba, centre back. And then I deferred a little bit from you. I've got Ashraf Hakimi, who for me has been the best right back in Europe this season. Outstanding for Luis Enrique and PSG, both in the league and in Europe.
Yeah, if he chose to play left back, he'd probably be the best left back in Europe too. But hey.
No, because they would be Di Marco.
No. But what I'm saying is, the thing about Hakimi is, in the past, we've seen him play on the left equally effectively.
He's just that good. Yeah, incredible. And then Pau Kubarsi, because at 17 years old, he's still only young. He's still very good. I think he can play. For me, between him and Igor Martinez, the one that messes up the highline is more Martinez than Pau. So I just love Pau Kubarsi. And again, I love the story. So
I thought he was better last season.
No, I disagree. And also, the team is better this season than last season. And also, I could not get Lamine Yamal because I've got Mo Salah. So Pau Kubarsi is also there for his mate Lamine Yamal. My midfield 3, and that's where I've got Cole Palmer slightly in your Musiala role, if you want. Yeah. So I'm allowed, like you were allowed for Musiala. Gravenberch, you said, 100% deserve to be there. And my boy Joao Neves. Not just because he plays for PSG, but because I think a 19-year-old who's adapted so quickly to a new team, a new culture, new everything. He's been great in everything that he's been doing for PSG this season, defending, attacking, creating, recovering the ball. He's played left back at times. It's been really, really outstanding. So I know it won't be in many people's teams.
No,
because he's more of a hard choice, but he's been really, really good so far.
It's interesting you speak hard choice, but I would argue he's not even the best teenage midfielder at Paris Saint-Germain in terms of ability and future. And yet I can see your logic with putting in there. But you'd have, if you ask who's got the brighter future, him or Warren Zaire-Emery, you go with Warren, yeah?
And Zaire-Emery is Paris born and bred. But Neves has been better than Zaire-Emery this season. So it is
Yeah, no.
And then the front three, two similar players than you, Gabi, Salah, and Rafinha, of course. But as a 9, I went for Charles de Ketelaere.
The Prince.
The Prince. And you're right, Ederson almost made the lineup, my lineup, and he should have been ahead of João Neves. I give you that. But then I needed an Atalanta player there. I thought about Retegui, of course. I thought about Lookman, that I could have played essentially, but the Ketelaere has been great. Even just for the young boys cameo in the Champions League, it's been incredible. So the Ketelaere for me there. And between your team and my team, I would call it a 2-2 draw.
I think that sounds
they were playing
fair.
each other.
One thing that's interesting is both of us, I mean, Charles de Ketelaere, of course, plays in a front two. He's not really a traditional center forward.
That's true.
I call Palmer not one. Is there a broader meaning or something to read into that we actually struggled to find? There was no obvious, maybe.
Well, I guess Lewandowski still has 16 goals in 16 La Liga games or something?
Lewandowski, people will question, why didn't we go for Lewandowski?
Maybe, yeah.
He's done exceptionally well. He's also missed a lot of goals this season.
That's true.
But then again,
Retegui is Retegui. I mean, Retegui is not even a starter per se, is he?
He starts some games, doesn't start others. Yeah.
Still an incredible return for the minutes that he's played.
Now, there is one question that producer Freddie, that we like to ask all our guests.
Yeah, that's true.
So he'd like us to ask each other this question, which is, what age were you not the best player in your team? Now, we normally ask this of professional footballers. I will come right out and say I was probably 5 or 6. At the time, I was not the best player in my football team.
But at least you were at some point, so that's good. Some people are never the best in their team, so...
yes, when I was just kicking balls against the wall in my back garden. I'm
sure not.
But, Jules, when were you not the best player in your team? Because you obviously, for those who don't know, Jules played at a fairly high level. Probably you had to make a choice at some point between university and maybe the third.
My dad made it for me.
The third tier. Your dad made it for you.
I would say I played for this really good team in the Paris area, Paris suburbs called Vincennes, who we had a really good under 15, under 17 team in almost the top division at that age group in the whole of France. And until then, I was probably the best in that team and the captain. And then I moved to an even better team, who were the first team in the 4th division, Le Lila, where I played for the next few years, and that was another level. I won't lie. I mean, we had players there who were incredible.
We're talking like 16.
So no, I was just 17 going 18. So I was then too old to play under 17. So then we go into the junior, it's called in France, or the under 20s if you want. And now we had an amazing team. A team like assembled from everywhere in Paris. It was amazing, and that's where I think I stopped being the best. Yeah, but it's okay because the other players were better than me, and I was still the captain because I was the brains within the team.
There you go.
There were some amazing players.
How am I not shocked that you talked your way into being the captain?
You have to.
All right, Jules, this brings us to an end. We want to wish everybody a happy holiday season. We're going to be back, don't worry, just after Christmas. Until then, love the game, love your neighbor, love yourself.